Hey guys, thought we'd do more of a discussion video today. It's going to be on handle materials, and I figured I would show, excuse me, initially the materials that we'll be talking about. I have FRN, G10, it's a little hard to see, let me get it focused more, Micarta, and then carbon fiber. So, start off with FRN. FRN is fiberglass reinforced nylon. It's generally used more in budget folders. I mean, it's really rare to see knives breaking the like $150 mark is really high for FRN. That's why a lot of people don't think the Benchmade Griptilians are really as the value to dollar ratio isn't quite as there, because it's cost as much as what a lot of other companies put out in G10, but you're getting the FRN still. I personally don't have any issues with FRN. It is less stable per se. It's not as rigid. You can squeeze it in here. It's still very durable, and you're really not going to break an FRN handle. If you break an FRN handle, you're doing something wrong with the knife to begin with, in my opinion. But it's very serviceable, and I kind of do agree with the Griptilians. Like I said, a lot of knife companies put out products in that price range with G10. And Benchmade themselves puts out other products in that price range with G10, so I'm not sure why the Griptilian doesn't. They have some other Griptilian models that do come in G10, but then you're talking $200, and that's on a very high, steep range of knife collecting, really, for a lot of people, even for myself. Here's G10. G10's a laminate. It is fiberglass mesh in a resin. It's then heated under pressure. It is used for circuit boards as well. You can see, though, it's got more of a circular pattern. It's very durable material as well, more rigid, while still maintaining relatively light weight. So as a scale, it doesn't weigh a whole lot. And you have Micarta, which I believe is the predecessor to pretty much all of these materials. It was made by, or created by George Westinghouse, they believe as early as 1910. It was originally used with paper and cotton materials. Here's another one with Phil Wilson. And Micarta is the same process as G10. It's layers of material and resin. It's then heated and pressurized into a laminate. Micarta is actually a company that does Micarta. I'm not 100% sure, but I believe if you create your own Micarta, you can't sell it as Micarta because that's a company. I know one person in the knife community makes his, he calls it Guycarta. So you can kind of do, little spin-offs. And carbon fiber, which to me is more of an aesthetic appeal. It's more expensive generally. I can't think of very many carbon fiber knives that are very cheap. Spyderco does laminates of carbon fiber, which kind of ruffled some feathers. I don't really see a problem with it because, like I said, to me it's more of an aesthetics appeal. It's lightweight, strong, but it's generally polished and smoothened, so you get to see that nice pattern and shininess. There's peel ply carbon fiber, which is carbon fiber with essentially G10's checkering or grippiness. I still like that, but to me it defeats a little bit of the purpose, because like I said, to me carbon fiber is more of a aesthetic material. You like the looks of it. It's kind of a high-end material. And when it's checkered, you kind of lose some of that shininess and stuff. It's a very eye-catching material, and it's used all over in a lot of industries now. So, it probably brings you to the question, what is the best material? And that's, of course, subjective. Really, G10 or the FRN or the Micarta, they're all adequate. They're all a good material. the question comes up a lot on forums, what is the most durable or strongest? And you also get the answer a lot, well, all of them are for a folder. And that's kind of, it's an accurate answer, I think it is, because really, if you break any of these folders, if you have managed to just shatter or completely snap a scale on a knife, a folder, you really aren't using it as it should be to begin with, because they're strong materials. Now, they will chip sometimes if you drop them on concrete. From what I've seen, carbon fiber seems to be a little more prone to actually just chipping chunks out. G10 seems to kind of not really take as much just chunks out. It tends to seem to just squish in or kind of abrade chunks off. My personal preference, if we aren't going for aesthetics, is Micarta, though. It seems to, when wet, still maintain grippiness, and I'm not sure if it's because it's more porous, so it maybe opens up a little bit. You'll notice if you get Micarta wet versus G10, it will actually get kind of damp on the outside. Obviously, it's not going to penetrate very deep because of the resin that is holding it together, but I like it because when it is wet, still maintains a good grip. If you were to get like G10 or FRN wet, excuse me, you'll notice that water tends to bead off. And I can't really, again, same thing. You can see kind of the weaves, the layers. The camera will focus here. And same here. You can see those layers there. So, from all practicality, I would say I would choose Micarta. I do like it, especially on fixed blades. I just like them a lot. When I got this Phil Wilson, I had the option of wood or this. That brings me to like wood and bone handles. I don't really get into those as much. I feel they're purely aesthetic. They really offer no traction. And on, say, like traditional knives, that's completely fine. Some of those I do like jigged bone. This is another knife. This is in black paper micarta. You can see with the paper micarta, it really doesn't have a grain. In fact, sometimes it'll almost look like a wood. This almost kind of looks like an ebony handle. One neat thing you'll also see is sometimes people will bias cut micarta and it will look like wood as it's going across the grain. That's really neat. Still offers the grippiness of it. So, bone and ivory, wood, I don't care for those as much. Wood can still be pretty durable. It's stabilized, which means all the water is dried out and then it is actually impregnated with resin. So a lot of these handle materials that are really durable are using a resin to make them so. And they'll last for quite a long time. Stabilized wood I haven't heard a lot of problems with. I personally haven't used it. Again, I just find I don't care for the looks as much generally of wood. I don't know. Just a personal thing, you know. Some people love wood handled knives and I think that's great. It all comes down to what you like. So, this video might have been, this is just my ideas on handles. I'd love to hear your guys' opinions. Feel free to point out anything that maybe I missed or any corrections. So until the next video, I will see you guys later, and thanks for watching as always.